"If you're a real pilot, prove it by riding my Ikran," said Lion. She had no idea. This sacred mount may look like a wild beast to break, but it's not what you think, because it chooses the rider, not the other way around. Jack steps, forward anyway, calm and steady, as the crowd leans in for the fall they're sure is coming. He isn't here to mock their ways or to dodge the dare. He's here to earn respect the only way that counts, by doing the impossible, in front of everyone. If Jack can't pass the rider's trial, no one listens. And if no one listens, the old warning about something waking beneath the mountains turns real. Respect dies first. The council shuts him out, the squadron rejects his training, and the door to cooperation slams shut. Then the ground starts to shake, the ancient systems hum, and the countdown begins. Fail the ritual, lose the room, and the sleepers rise. When pride blocks unity, a planet pays the price. The shuttle doors opened, and Jack Horton stepped out onto Vidian's rust-colored soil. The air was heavy, the light sharp, the kind that makes every color feel dangerous. "Welcome to Outpost Verdun," an automated voice said from the terminal. "Proceed to immigration for processing." Jack adjusted his collar and walked forward, eyes scanning the busy frontier settlement. Alien merchants haggled in strange dialects, soldiers moved in groups, and somewhere above a creature's cry echoed through the orange sky. He could feel the stares, curious, doubtful, some openly hostile. Another human, another outsider. At the bar later, his name traveled faster than his drink. A woman with blue skin and silver hair leaned against the wall, smirking beneath the shadow of a wide hat. "So, you're the famous Terran pilot the Coalition sent," she said. "Tell me, human, what makes you think you can teach riders who've been flying since birth?" Jack met her violet eyes without flinching. "Experience," he said simply. 15 years of it. Her laugh was sharp, musical, and cutting. "Machines don't count. Here, we fly with living beings. If you're a real pilot, prove it. Ride my Ikran." The bar fell silent. Every eye turned to them. Jack set down his glass, his voice steady. "Lead the way." Outside, the crowd followed as she whistled into the sky, and the shadow of a winged giant descended. The test had begun. The creature's landing shook the ground, its wings spread wide, eyes glowing like molten gold. Jack stood before it, small and breakable. "Feel the currents," Lion said. "Don't force, become." He climbed up behind her, muscles tight, breath shallow. Then the Ikran leapt. Wind roared past, the ground vanished, and terror turned into awe. The beast moved as if reading their minds. Jack found rhythm, balance, trust. For a heartbeat, man and creature became one. Below, the crowd gasped. A taboo shattered. When they landed, Lion's voice was softer. "No outsider has ever done that." Jack smiled faintly. First time for everything. That night by the waterfall, challenge turned into connection. Pride gave way to curiosity, curiosity to respect. But in the morning, the council called them both to account. The chamber filled with whispers as the elder spoke of an old prophecy. Winds and stars shall unite when darkness rises. Lion's rival Dravik sneered from the shadows. "You've doomed us, bringing him here." Jack met his glare. "Then let's hope I'm as dangerous as you think." The prophecy hung in the air, the weight of worlds settling on his shoulders. 3 days later, the wind carried Jack and Lion north, beyond the safe borders of Vidian. The sky darkened as the twin suns fell behind jagged mountains known as the Forbidden Peaks. Even Stormwing's steady flight faltered, the air thick with something old and waiting. "This place," Lion whispered, "it isn't supposed to exist." They landed near a cracked stone ridge. A faint hum came from beneath their feet. They followed a tunnel carved by unknown hands, until they reached a vast underground chamber, an ancient city of metal and glass buried in silence. When Jack touched a black pillar, lights bloomed to life. Holographic symbols rose in the air, 2 DNA strands rotating, human and Vidian, and a third sequence bridging them. "It's scanning us," Jack said. The air vibrated, and a deep voice echoed from the walls. Images appeared, beings of light and metal creating life, shaping minds. "They weren't monsters," Lion breathed. "They were scientists. They made us." The truth crushed centuries of belief. The Vidians were not born. They were engineered. The Devourers, once called destroyers, were their creators. Then the light pulsed red. "Activation sequence engaged," the hologram announced. T-minus 72 hours. The mountain trembled. The Devourers were waking, and every second counted. Back at the outpost, panic spread. Jack gathered the council and human command. "We have less than 3 days," he said. "We stop this together, or we don't stop it at all." He laid out his plan. Combine human adaptability with Vidian neural control. A new kind of squadron, part instinct, part technology. "We need 20 pilots bonded in 48 hours, he declared. "Respect isn't given. It's synchronized." The next hours blurred into sweat and determination. Humans and Vidians trained side by side, learning to fly as one. Crashes, shouts, breakthroughs. Rivalries burned, then cooled into teamwork. Even Dravik, Lion's scornful rival, returned with a grim face. "I'll fight," he said. "Not for you, for Vidian." The ground quaked beneath their feet as the ancient systems stirred again. Jack looked up at the trembling horizon. "Then we fly now," he said. The sky above outpost Vidian split with fire. Metallic drones rose from the earth, sleek and merciless. The hybrid squadron launched into battle, humans and Vidians riding. Together, weaving through laser storms with impossible precision. Stormwing led the charge, Jack and Lion moving in perfect rhythm. The temple below cracked open, revealing the glowing crystal heart of the Devourer's control hub. They dove inside. An awakened Devourer stood waiting, tall and calm, its voice like a chorus. "We created you to continue our work." "Your work will destroy us," Lion answered. Jack placed his hand on the crystal. "Not this time." Lion joined him. Energy surged through them. Pain, light, memory. Their thoughts merged, every bond from above joining in the same pulse. Together they shouted, "Stars and winds, deactivate!" A blinding flash filled the chamber. Then, silence. The tremors stopped. The crystal's red glow turned blue, shifting from awakening to controlled stasis plus knowledge access. The Devourers were halted, alive but contained. Weeks later, dawn washed over Vidian's rebuilt outpost. Humans and Vidians worked side by side, studying the ancient technology they'd saved. A new colony stood where fear once ruled. On the landing platform, Jack watched Stormwing soar with a fresh squadron of riders, some human, some Vidian, all bonded by trust. Lion stepped beside him, her blue skin glowing in the morning light. "The new pilots say they're ready," she said with a teasing smile. Jack chuckled. "If they're real riders, let them prove it." She laughed, the same sound that started everything. As the twin suns rose higher, he thought of the dare that began it all. Sometimes forging a new world doesn't start with a war or a treaty. Sometimes it starts with one simple challenge, and someone brave enough to take it.